Hello, friends. How have you been? This is A Few Thoughts with Melissa Lynn, and today is my 3-month mark of this pretty strict carnivore lifestyle that I've been living, and I get one chance to do my 3-month check-in, right? So today's the day. And I made a few notes because I wanted to talk about some things. It's been a journey of more than nutrition and new information for sure. And so there's too many things that I wanted to talk about that are all intertwined with this personal nutritional journey. So I can't touch on all of them. So let's just talk about why did I do this? And I want to say that I respect everybody's choices. I am not promoting beef and butter. I'm not promoting the carnivore lifestyle. I'm promoting self-love and a caring nature of informing ourselves so that we can physically stay as healthy and as juicy as possible, right, as we travel. So that's the point here, whatever that looks like for you, okay? So why would I even think about doing this? In my family, there are a couple of women whom I'm very closely related to that suffer or suffered from autoimmune problems. My grandmother had rheumatoid arthritis, and it was debilitating. But she wasn't easy to hold back. But I can't imagine the pain she must have walked through. I know she couldn't get in a pool because it would start all the pain in her joints. And I can identify with some of that it seemed like as soon as I hit 50, maybe right before that, things started showing up that hadn't showed up before. Things started getting painful when no injury had occurred. And also I have somebody else in my family who has fibromyalgia. And so I wanted to take an active seeking approach to my own nutrition. And truth be told, it's been a journey from disordered eating all the way till now. So it's been incremental. It's not been all at once. But on this leg of the journey, it's been a new opportunity for me to make friends with fat and protein, with beef. I have been fed a lot of information growing up from the food guidelines that turns out were funded by the agricultural industry. When I get to learn now, because of this information highway, what the sources of this information were, and have an open mind about bringing forth these truths fed to me and setting those aside so I can seek information with a clean slate, open to new ideas. 2 of those doctors that I've reached to on the internet, watching videos and informing myself, are Dr. Anthony Chafee and Dr. Ken Berry. Also, Kelly Hogan, who's not a doctor but had her own personal journey, is so inspiring, as well as somebody who calls herself the Beef and Butter Gal. Through these people, I have collected so much information and re-education. And let's talk about how it's been for me. Have I missed food, regular food? No. Why haven't I missed other things? Because it's delicious eating beef, butter, and salts. I just had breakfast and I cooked up with a little bit of beef tallow and high-fat ground beef, which is 27%, I think, or 20% on this ground beef. Usually the highest I've found in a store is 20 to 27, depending on the store. And there's very little high-fat and a ton of low-fat options. So this morning I had ground beef with butter on it. I cooked the ground beef in a little beef fat. And then after my ground beef was done, I drizzled a little bit of that melted tallow over my meat, put butter on it, and then used real salt, which is from a ancient Dead Sea in the States, which because it's a Dead Sea, an ancient sea, it hasn't been privy to many of the newer toxins that are in our own oceans today. And so locally sourced, locally-ish, means that we're not taking from other people's land. Okay, I like all of this. Okay, so, but it's been a journey of learning, and it continues to be. What have I noticed? What did I notice? Well, my energy, first, let me say this. First, when I very first started, there was more than one day, I think 2 days, where I got so nauseous that I just felt green. And so I had to lay down and nap for a bit. It turns out it's just my body. This is common. It's like a keto flu, if you will, as my body gets accustomed to using fat as energy. And I took all the sugar out. When I started this, literally everything went out except for beef, butter, and salt. I've had some lamb, I've had a chicken thigh, but for the most part, beef all day long and all night. And I'm up to 2 meals right now. It's been working for me. Late breakfast and then an early dinner. And if I get hungry, I might have some pork rinds if I've gotten them from the Mexican market, because they use the fat. They don't add in toxic seed oils. So that's what I've been doing. What have I noticed? After the initial nausea, I have had nothing but, I was doing yoga one morning and I went in the bedroom and I told Jeff, honey, for the first time I can think of in my grown life or even teen life, my guts are not telling me anything. They're not telling me they're hungry, they're crampy, they're bloated, they're bubbly, they're whatever. My guts always had something to say every minute of every day, as far as I can think, as far as I can remember. And it was the first time I felt like I had peace and quiet in my innards. What the heck? So, it's continued, man. I'm so satiated when I'm done that I don't hunger in the same way. What I had for breakfast for so many years, I never felt satisfied or not hungry. I'm not even sure I knew if I was hungry when I had it. It was just habits. And first thing out the gate, I was having carbohydrates and sugar and seed oils, plasticized. I was eating like a protein cookie, had all the right words, and I thought it was a good thing, man. Getting something in me that I didn't have to think about. It wasn't nutritious. I was deceiving my own self by not informing myself. So now my skin, hair, and nails, how have those felt? I've always had dry hair. And I would tell my clients, it grows out of my head dry. What? I wasn't ever thinking about, I'm trying not to even ingest fat since my 18, 17, 16, literally trying to eat absolutely no fat in my day. Crazy. Because I didn't want to be fat. I didn't know my body needed fat, my brain needed fat. I didn't know that I needed the right fats. And if I had those right fats and my body was fueled properly, I wouldn't get fat. My body would burn the fat for fuel. I didn't know this. Okay, because I grew up when I grew up, and sugar and carbohydrates were a non-issue in the generations I grew up with. As far as everybody talked about, nobody did talk about them. So, but it's a new day, and I get to be new today. So I get to make a decision today about how I'm going to show up for myself and to separate my physical being, my physiology, from who who I am as a human. This is just my machine. I'm just trying to take care of it as best I can so that it can work for me, not against me. I don't want to be trapped inside this thing that isn't working well, that's getting pockets of weirdness, and I don't realize it's because it's what I'm taking in and have been misinformed about, okay? That's good stuff, man. Okay, so my hair totally feels more juicy to me. Is it my imagination? Maybe. I don't know though. And my skin, it seems glowier. It does. And it seems brighter. It seems moister. If you saw the amount of fat I'm eating, no wonder, right? And what else I'm doing? I don't want to freak y'all out, but I wash my face with coconut oil for years. And then I mist it with a little bit of toner from Clark's. And then I put this on. It's beef tallow, my own beef's fat. The beef I cook, I filter it, strain it, and collect it. And I cook with it. And some of it I put in these. And this is my moisturizer. So beef tallow is the closest to our own sebum. And so it absorbs the deepest. What are the deepest? Absorbing. Goes straight in. So at first it'll feel kind of greasy, but I like that at my age. And then it'll just absorb in. And my neck, my chest area, everything feels better. I know it's gross to some people, but if I am eating this, why is it more gross to put that same thing on my face as moisturizer? If it's good enough to go inside, it's good enough to go outside. And I know where it came from. There's nothing added to it. I bought it, I cooked it, and I used the fat. It sounds very of the earth, and that's who I am. So anyway, I continue. This is not a diet. I don't do diets. I don't do diets, man. We've moved beyond that, right? I do lifestyle and I do experiments just to see what my personal experience is like, you know? So I'm satiated, full of energy, and I feel juicy. Okay, 3 months. Have a great day. Ciao.